The world's largest investment firm this morning is calling for calm after the recent financial turmoil. Stock markets are still stabilizing after last week's Brexit vote in the UK. The Dow has rebounded. BlackRock chairman and CEO Larry Fink says Britain's vote to leave the EU means there will be fewer people willing to make long-term investments and more who will hoard cash. BlackRock manages more than, listen to this, $4.7 trillion in assets. That's a lot of money. We are pleased to welcome Larry Fink back to Studio 57. Welcome.
Why is
Good
this
morning.
man smiling, Charlie?
You have a huge responsibility,
Yes.
sir, if you don't know.
We know that every day.
Yes.
Managing that type of money is an enormous responsibility.
So how do you see where the world is in terms of the global economy after Brexit? What impact and how fast does it seem to be rebounding in the short term?
Well, I think people are reassessing what Brexit means. It's not a financial crisis like we saw in 2008 and 9, so we don't have to worry about those types of falling outs. On the other hand, it increases uncertainty in the world, and I think we have been living in a world of great uncertainty, and this is what is creating so much fear, and it just adds to the uncertainty. We're not going to know the ultimate solution or the result in the UK until possibly two more years.
But if there is uncertainty and if there is diminished growth, then there will be less investment in the future.
Charlie, no question. The uncertainty is a cause for people to pulling back. There's $55 trillion sitting in banks worldwide right now, a record amount. And this is at a time when there's over $15 trillion of money that is paying negative interest rates in Europe and in Japan.
You mean a lot of cash out there?
There is a huge amount of cash, and so there is a reservoir of money to invest ultimately, but that, if anything, Brexit probably means there's going to be a larger reservoir of cash and less investing. And less investing for the future actually means a slower global economy.
Exactly.
Were you totally stunned by the vote, Larry, and did you think we at BlackRock need to do what? First, I want to know, were you stunned?
Oh, I was stunned, yes. I was sad more than stunned, I think.
Because?
Because it was not a great outcome for the UK. It was not a good outcome for the global economy. It just leads to more uncertainty, and I think people are going to be regretting this result.
They seem to already be doing so.
I think there's a part of the UK that is regretting it.
And so you think here at BlackRock we needed to do what? What can you do to calm the fears? They say stay calm, but it's hard to stay calm when people are freaked out.
What we have to do is remind people, especially those who are saving for an outcome like retirement, saving for purchasing a house, you have to stay the course more than ever before. I think the fear of putting all your money into cash is a expected outcome, but it's not the appropriate outcome. If you're going to be saving for 40 years to the moment you're retiring, or 30 years if that's a moment, the issue of Brexit really is not that consequential over a long period of time, unless you have a view over the next 30 to 40 years. The world's weaker and less productive. I think that's one of the main problems why we had Brexit. I think there are a grouping of people who truly believe their future is worse than, and their children's future may be worse. I think this is the anger of Brexit. This is the anger we're seeing in so many democracies.
They have a reason to believe that, don't they?
I think there's a component of society that is appropriately in a state of fear. They've seen little or no wage growth for 10 or 15 years. Their healthcare costs have gone up, their food costs have gone up, their children's education has gone up, and so they've been squeezed.
I want to ask you about the conservative editorial page of the Wall Street Journal.
Yes.
They write that Trump's economic policies are the most detailed assault on trade by a presidential candidate since, well, we can't remember, and says, we'll find out soon enough if this works politically, but as economics, it's nonsense.
Well, I think it's inappropriate.
His comments
We're the largest exporter in the world. We're also the largest importer in the world. So we depend on global trade. We have enriched a major component of our society with global trade. A component of our society has been left behind by global trade. But much of this, we use trade as a mechanism to identify the problem. What has happened is technology has transformed the work environment. Technology has reduced the amount of human labor. And so this is more of a technology story, and it's being rooted in a trade story, but technology has changed the workforce.
It's a digital disruption.
And I do believe we're going to continue to see that if we have AI, or alternative, artificial intelligence, if we have digital printing, this is going to even further reduce the amount of human labor. But there's a silver lining to this, and we haven't focused on this. The silver lining is if the cost of the human input in manufacturing is so reduced, we're going to see more onshoring. So we're going to see manufacturing slowly coming back. There are many U.S. companies that are bringing manufacturing back, but maybe 15, 20 years ago, that plant had 2,000 employees. That plant today may only have 300.
Do you know if Larry Fink is interested in Treasury Secretary? His name's being floated.
Oh, gosh.
Have you talked to him about it?
I have.
If Hillary Clinton wins, I
Yes,
think is the
if-
assumption.
Yes.
I have a great job. I love living in New York City, and I intend to be living in New York City a long time in the coming years.
That's
Would
what
you
they all
consider that, if you
say.
heard that, an evasive answer?
I would say it's still open for a debate. That's what I would say.
Larry
Yes, I love this city and my children and my wife. Okay, we'll see, Larry.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Really
much.
smart discussion.
Thank
Really
you.
smart discussion. Thank you so much.